Welcome to another episode of the Southern Comfort Podcast. I'm your boy, Big Rich.
Kevin Harris.
And we are the boys of the Maroon Bison. Kevin, football's back, baby.
Ball is back. And we got to do a Falcons game.
So
I see that.
I appropriately wore this for two reasons. Falcons. But this month marks the 25th anniversary of Stankonia.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, that makes us old, right? I don't think we can deny.
No, that makes us mature.
Makes us mature. Because, you know, your hairline tells your whole truth. Regardless of what you tell yourself, your hairline.
I needed a haircut. Couldn't get a haircut.
Exactly, because we're old.
Yes.
Neither one of us have hairlines. I'm so bad, I can't even make fun of LeBron James. That's how bad mine is.
I mean, you can still make fun of it.
Not really. I can make fun of Kevin Durant.
He hold on. Well, listen.
We can all make fun of Kevin Durant.
We're not gonna beat up on these millionaires, billionaire LeBron and millionaire Durant. But no, man, Stankonia, one of the greatest albums ever created. Still holds true to this day. Don't pull your thing out unless you plan to bang.
Good advice.
You know,
kept a lot of people out of trouble.
It definitely did.
Yeah.
It definitely did.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, of course, we are talking about the now newly inducted Outkast into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Has the ceremony happened?
The ceremony has not happened, but
later this year?
Well, I think the induction ceremony has happened, but the concert has not happened. That is in October, I believe. I don't think I'm going.
Why not?
Because
it's in Ohio.
No.
Because I wouldn't want to go to Ohio either.
It's just hard to get tickets.
Well, yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that they are going to perform at One Music Fest.
Yeah.
Next month. And so.
Not giving up hope that they're going to do a tour. I think it's going to happen again. I think Andre will do it. I think we might have to suffer through a little session of him playing that damn flute. But I do think we're going to get a whole concert out of Outkast. I think there's going to be a tour. Now it's going to be some overly complicated stuff that didn't need to happen, right? Like they only going to do, they're going to go to like Tuscaloosa. Why?
No.
But, I don't know. That's going to be some Andre stuff.
They are not going to do a tour.
Why do you think that?
I think
you've always said that. Why? If
they do a tour, it'll be a limited city tour.
And it's going to be weird. They're going to go to like Tuscaloosa and Baton Rouge and, Elkhorn, wherever,
I think if anything, they'll give us one more album.
See, I don't think we're going to get another
I think
album.
we'll get one more album. One.
Okay, I agree with this. I think it's going to be an either or. We're getting a tour or another album, but we're not getting both.
Which one would you rather have?
An album. Because I don't want to go to any of the cities that I think they're going to go to on this tour.
They also have never done a world tour.
I think that's Andre's fault.
I don't disagree. And listen, anybody who knows me knows that 3 Stacks is number 1, 2, and 3 on my list. So I don't disagree. But yeah, man. So, it's the month of September. We have not missed a week in our episodes.
No, we haven't. It's been going really well.
The devil almost tried to make us miss up in DC.
Well,
it tried.
The economy is the economy. Everybody's trying to make a little money, but studio time in DC is quite expensive.
Makes no sense at all. So for anybody who is looking to record a podcast and you live in the DMV area, I suggest you buy yourself a Spirit, a Southwest Airlines ticket to Atlanta. Holler at my boy Dre over at Spark Q Social Studios. And he'll take care of you. You know what I'm saying?
He will.
He would definitely take care of you. And you can fly here, stay here, record multiple episodes.
Cheaper
than what they're charging you in that area. So.
Yes. Because absolutely.
Tripping. But, we're going to get into it today. Everybody knows there's a lot of madness and craziness going on.
What do you want to talk about today?
What
are we talking about
there are
today?
plenty of things we could talk about.
Yes.
Plenty.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to talk about being unalived. Because you got to tread lightly.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us got to tread lightly. Some of us do, some of us don't. But
Mm-hmm.
I think you and I made the decision, right? Like, there'll be plenty of opportunity to kind of discuss that, but,
I don't want to use our
exactly
platform for that
bitch assness.
Yeah, that to me is not
but
something worth.
Listen, I will say this.
Yeah.
We got a lot of cowards in office.
Yeah.
Both sides.
Yeah.
I don't think Congress is in tune enough to pass anything of impactful significance, right?
Mm-hmm.
They just like playing this social media game right now, it feels like.
Mm-hmm.
And I think right now, more people who are associated with a party or who really care about it are focused more on midterm elections, primarily state elections.
Yeah. And
governor race, constituent officers race.
Yeah.
I don't think people really, we may win back the House. We may.
I think we will.
That's May.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we'll take the House. I think the Senate is looking more promising every day.
Really?
I do. Because I think that there's like, even when you look at like Maine, I'm not so sure that like Susan Collins is going to run again. So I think we could end up with a situation that has happened before when we got like a lot of big things done, where we could end up actually having a good chunk of the votes that we need in the Senate. And I do think we're going to retake the House. But I do think that where both parties are missing, I kind of feel like everybody's kind of going into their corners and into their talking points. Obviously, I'm most offended by the talking points that I see on the other side. But I also don't like some of the talking points that I see on our side, basically saying that we have to just all kumbaya. I think there's a larger point here about our democracy that is being threatened, that is under attack, and that there's a larger values proposition that I think is where the majority of the country is. And the first party to speak to that is the party that I think will be rewarded electorally. And I haven't quite seen how Democrats have sort of rose into the occasion, and we have gotten kind of caught in this trap where not understanding the difference between being able to condemn a political assassination, and as you rightly should, but you can do that as well as make the broader point about the overall health of our democracy. And I don't see very many people doing that well. Like we've talked about Jasmine Crockett on this show. I think Jasmine is doing it well.
Yes,
it is walking that line well.
Agree.
I think some of President Obama's comments here lately are kind of are walking that level, but Democrats need to put some meat on the bones.
Gentleman out of Colorado, Joe Neguse. I like him.
Great guy.
I like him a lot.
He's a great guy. Congressman Neguse.
Yeah. He stands behind what he says. He takes it to him. He asks the right questions. When he's in committee, he drills them. And he makes it make sense, right? He is a really good communicator, like similar to Crockett, right? She's really good at it too. Is he an attorney?
I don't remember right now, but when I was on the Hill, when I was ED of the Black Caucus, he was one of my members. Just a really cool guy.
Yeah.
Really, really like nice guy, very serious about his business. But I can't remember if he's an attorney or not.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
You said that you think we may win back the Senate. I saw an article actually this morning that said Joe Manchin is having FOMO.
To run for what?
And it looks like he wants to return.
To what? The Senate?
I guess.
Governor? What?
I guess. How old is he? Like 80?
I don't
75?
think that would matter that much in West Virginia. He's up there though.
Yeah.
But I, look, he is, he's helpful for the numbers, right? Because it gives us an extra Democrat so that we can set the agenda. But Joe ain't gonna go with us on everything.
I would say, is he running as a Democrat? Would he run as a Democrat?
Don't know. Honestly, I think he's always looked at someone like Angus King, who's an independent from Maine in the Senate. And I think he's always kind of like relished that. And I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to do something like that. But I honestly don't think it would work, because part of the reason he didn't run again was because with Jim Justice, very popular governor of West Virginia, was a Democrat, became a Republican, very popular guy. He's even said things that I like. But Manchin kind of looked at that and was like, I can't compete with that.
Yeah.
And so I don't know that even in West Virginia, his brand is strong enough for him to win a race as an independent. I don't think he can do what Angus King has done in Maine.
Well, we'll see, given, what the next, 60 days looks like. Right now, Congress still has to pass a budget.
They're not going to. Well, they're not going to before the government shit. I mean, we might do a CR or something. Well, that's what the Democrats saying. Well, so you think we should do that? Okay, well, I think it's real possible.
Burn it down. Oh, no, stop. But let's hop to a state that we know and love and we talk about quite a bit. Our home state, Georgia. There was a report that came out earlier this week that former lieutenant governor under Brian Kemp, who is a Republican, his name is Jeff Duncan, Jeff with a G.
With a G.
Geoff.
I know.
Geoff
You
Duncan.
say Geoff, I say Geoff.
Geoff.
Yeah, he's Jeff.
I wonder how the hood gonna pronounce it. Goff?
No.
Jeff Duncan, who actually also spoke at this past Democratic National Convention in Chicago.
He did.
He's been very outspoken against Donald Trump. He calls him a sucker. Has announced that he is switching parties and running for governor as a Democrat.
Yeah.
And boy, you talk about somebody stirring the Kool-Aid up in the Democratic Party.
I know.
Man, some Democratic leaders were up in arms. There have been think pieces, thought pieces, those pieces, thought pieces. All, talking about his record during the time in the legislature. He's been, he sided with the extreme right on guns, immigration, abortion. Georgia has a 6-week abortion ban. He was in favor of it. He voted against expanding Medicare, Medicaid for the state. But he has since said he's seen the error of his ways. He's offered a sincere apology. And now he's, wants to run for governor of Georgia. And I have my thoughts. Everybody has their thoughts. I say go for it, right? I'm not saying I support him. I'm saying it's needed. I'm saying the people in this race who are polling in single digits should relish the fact that he's getting in, bringing more attention to them. He's going to help put the spotlight on State Senator Jason Estevez, who's in single digits. A pastor named Reverend Olu Brown, who is in single digits. A state rep who previously ran for lieutenant governor last cycle, Derek Jackson, who's in single digits. And then you have, if the race were to happen today, former Atlanta mayor and Biden appointee or whatever she was, Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms.
Twice appointee. Appointed to a couple of things.
Really?
Yeah.
If the race were won today, she probably would gain a nomination. She's probably the most popular person, has the highest name recognition.
For sure.
And then behind her would be former DeKalb CEO and as well as former Georgia Labor Commissioner, Michael Thurman, who is although I think 74 years old right now. But he's very spry.
He looks good.
He's very spry.
He looks good.
Spunky.
Black don't crack.
Hey, got his boots on the ground.
Hey, you look good. Yeah.
He does. And Thurman's a good guy. I've known him during my course of working on campaigns and been very helpful. He gives you that old black man wisdom, right? And like, you know, like Hollywood movies, everybody need an old wise black man on their side.
But you know, he's been around and it has a distinguished career of service. But it's a tough cycle for him.
Very.
I mean, most people are looking at the 70s and I feel like right now the old as you can be and be okay is maybe like in your mid 60s, but anything that's over 70 and 80, people are like, why are you running?
Running at 70 or?
I think running, I think the campaign, I think you have to be solidly in your 60s. Announcing and still solidly in your 60s should you win the election before people to even consider it. And so I think that's going to be the biggest challenge for him. I mean, you could argue that he's the most well-credentialed candidate in the whole field.
Absolutely.
And the most qualified
Absolutely.
in the whole field,
Absolutely.
right? But his age is going to be I don't want to say a disqualifier because he still has to run the race. We'll see what happens.
It's a red flag.
But his age is going to be something he's going to have to come through with. And then even with, Keisha Lance Bottoms, who I think so far is doing a great job, relative to the rest of the field, a little thing that people don't want to talk about or don't want to broach, but it absolutely is going to be there, is she's going to have to overcome whether or not folks are going to think it's wise to put up a black woman, given that we didn't quite get there with Stacey and given that we didn't win the state with Kamala. She right or wrong, despite all her qualifications, all her brilliance, all the accomplishments that she's made, that she's done in her life and her career, it's all going to be reduced to, in a lot of ways, like, do we want to put up a black woman again?
So let's put a point in that, because you said two things she has to overcome.
And Atlanta. And Atlanta.
And her selection not to reseek re-election.
That and just being the mayor of Atlanta generally, right?
Yes,
that in the South, that's complicated.
Yes and no, because one, majority of the primary votes, 70% of the primary votes come out of the Atlanta Metro District. So
that's right.
Yes,
but what I'm saying, a lot of these primary voters are going to be making their decision upon
her record,
who I think can win in a general election. And while a lot of those primary voters are concentrated around Atlanta, they're going to be looking at it being like, yeah, but the rest of the state don't really like us. So do we really want to put up an Atlanta mayor as our nominee?
I mean, we've never put up an Atlanta mayor as the nominee for governor of Georgia.
And I would argue, and we have examples in Maryland as well, where we've worked, where we've never done that in Atlanta because those mayors weren't white. If that was a white man or a white woman, that's a completely different scenario.
Retract my statement. We've never put up a black mayor.
That's right. That's right. So that's a completely different implications.
Yeah.
If this was, say, Jason Carter, who was the mayor of Atlanta. Jason Carter could be the mayor of Atlanta and have the same exact record as Andre Dickens and be a very viable candidate for governor. Andre, despite his successes and everything else, in his same record, probably not going to happen for him to run a statewide race.
For one, his last name's Carter.
His last name's Carter, but Andre's first name is Andre. So her first name is Keisha. She's running against a lot of headwinds.
Well, to back to Keisha, right? Like the other thing is two things you mentioned. One, do we want to put up another black woman to gain the nomination, given what we went through with Harris and as well as Abrams? And the other point I'm gonna put there is we actually don't know what Abrams is going to do.
She may get back in it.
She may get back in there.
She may.
Now, the question I have is, does she run as an independent? because she can fundraise and look to see if, right?
You know, I think that we both worked with and been around Stacey Abrams. I think people have accused her of a lot of things and have said a lot of things, and that's what happens when you're in the arena. But one thing that I don't think anybody can say about Stacey Abrams is that she is a foolish person. And so I would be very surprised if she ran as an independent. I don't think she does things just to do it. So I'd be shocked if she ran as an independent. Now, if she got in this primary, honestly, man, if she got in this primary, I still think Jeff Duncan might win it.
So you think Duncan has a chance?
I think he has a magnificent chance.
Enlighten us.
About why I think he has a magnificent chance?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of it is because of like everything that we've just said. I think in this election, and it doesn't bring me any joy, right? But we say this all, it doesn't give me any joy to say what I'm about to say, but we say this all the time, right? Our job as strategists is to analyze the electorate, not judge it.
Correct.
We don't judge it, we analyze it. That's our job.
Because if we judged it, people would hate us.
Well, and if we judged it, we'd be very bad at our jobs, right? Because elections are about math. It's about how do you get to your win number. So if you're judging the people that you need to be a part of your coalition to get to your number, if you're judging them, then you can't advise on strategy to reach them, right?
Right.
And so I think the reason why Jeff Duncan is very well positioned is because the front runner in this field right now is a Black woman. And I think a lot of primary voters, and it's not just like white primary voters, I think there are Black primary voters, right, who are going to be looking at this saying, we want to win, we want to be successful. There's a lot of headwinds at the federal level. We really need somebody backing us up here at the strong level. I really like Keisha, but how many times does the electorate have to tell us that they don't want a Black woman right now? Right? That's crappy. Right? That says nothing about her qualifications or experience or anything, but also that's politics, right? And so you have this white man who has won elections, right? Who could possibly bring over voters from the other side.
Is wealthy,
right? And I think that there are a number of voters in the primary who will look at that and who will make that calculation that perhaps that's our best bet, particularly if he's aligned with where we are now. And one of the things that you know very well is that this isn't unusual for Georgia. There are all kinds of party switchers that have been very successful in the state of Georgia. And so I just kind of feel like put it this way, it's easier for him to change his positions, right, and be what he needs to be in a Democratic primary than it is for Keisha Lance Bottoms to change her gender and her race.
And it's funny.
And so that's what it may come down to.
It's funny you say that, right? History repeats itself.
Yep.
Jeff Duncan spoke at the Democratic National Convention. Our former governor, Zell Miller, Democratic Governor Zell Miller, voted
to a duel. Do you remember that?
Yes. And he he spoke at the 2004 Republican National Convention.
He did.
Pushing to re-elect Bush. Trusted Bush, said Bush was a good friend, he's a good man. Clintons were livid. Very livid. One of our Republican governors, well, both of our Republican governors, Nathan Deal and Sonny Perdue, both were Democrats. Sonny Perdue actually started the trend of switching from a Democrat to a Republican. He did it when he was state senator, switched, challenged Roy Barnes to the governor's race, and became the first Republican governor since like 1868, since Reconstruction, right? And that started the reign of the Republican owning the governor's house here in Georgia, right? Nathan Deal was a congressman, Democratic congressman, right? Got into some ethical stuff, switched parties, resigned so he wouldn't go to jail, came back to Georgia, ran for governor, and won.
Yeah.
So it's not a foreign idea, right?
No.
In 2006 and in 2010, we had 6 Democrats switch from the Democratic Party over to Republican and gave them the majority, right? They saw the writing on the wall and they said, let's go ahead and jump ship. So it's not foreign here. I mean, it's not foreign anywhere, right?
No.
So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, Duncan has already hit the ground running on tours. He's engaging the Black community and he's getting press off of it. He's campaigning the right way.
Yeah.
I've actually received a few phone calls from his people. He has probably more Black staff on his team than most of the people in the race right now.
Well, that's a whole other episode, but
it could be this episode. But again, for those Republican voters who are out there lost in the wilderness, who don't know where to go, what to do, they're now going to look at the Democrats in this race. Now that he's in this race.
Well, I think you're absolutely right, and I think that Democrats sometimes forget that elections are about math. And values are important, but math is also a value.
Well,
and you have to cobble together your votes and your coalition to be able to win if you want to do any other things that you stand for.
To their credit, the Republicans have gutted education so bad that they don't know what math really is.
Well, but they only got the chance to do that because Democrats didn't peep game first and say, hey, actually, these elections are about math. And, we have to make sure our values actually meet math, right? And it goes back to what we were just saying as strategists, right? Our job is to analyze the electorate, not judge it. And you have to meet people where you are. And at a certain point, we as a party stopped meeting people where they are, right? It became more important to us to make a point to people than it did to get anything done, right? And so given that dynamic, you can't be surprised that people might find like a Jeff Duncan appealing. And so I am not surprised if he wins this nomination. But I'm also not surprised if, a Keisha Lance Bottoms or somebody else recognizes the moment and rises up, right? And stops him. But the good thing about that, though, is that even if she did do that, it makes her a better candidate for the general election, which gets to the overall point of like, I don't understand why Democrats are freaking out about this. Like him actually entering the race is a good thing, I think, on balance, for the party and for Georgia Democrats. And we know we're going to have Ossoff, right? That's going to be at the very top of the ticket. We need other stuff happening on that ticket for Democrats to do well here in Georgia next year. And this adds a level of excitement that will bring voter interest and engagement on our side, but will also make whoever the eventual nominee better. Jeff Duncan will be better if he wins. And he has to explain all of the things that we just said, and he has to actually contend with someone as formidable as Keisha Lance Bottoms or Michael Thurman on a debate stage, and he has to actually win that nomination for them, right? It makes him better for the general election, as it does make Michael Thurman better, as it does make Keisha Lance Bottoms better, or even Jason Estevez, right? Like if he slayed all of those people and somehow became the nominee, I don't know how anybody could question
that he's not strong enough.
That he's not strong enough for a general election. So my point is, I don't know why people are freaking out. This is a good thing. And not only that, it's in keeping with the tradition of Georgia. We do party switchers all the time.
Again, people are voting with emotion.
I think people are talking with emotion. The talking heads and the establishment and the elite are talking with emotion. And that to me is the whole point. That ain't where voters are. I don't think voters are that emotionally upset or at their wits' end about this. And that's the part that Democrats have to recognize. And if you really are afraid of Jeff Duncan becoming the nominee, well, it could really happen mainly because y'all are focused on the wrong things. You're thinking that there's outrage where there really isn't.
Well,
people aren't that freaked out about it. Again, you just went through all the examples of party switchers in Georgia.
Again, primary are for party loyalist voters, right?
Yeah.
The general elections for the people. And I honestly think that people really don't care about parties. They care about problems.
That's right.
And their issues.
That's right.
You know? And if that means a reform Republican can make sense of all of this and actually get shit done, you can guarantee people are going to vote for him.
They might do it.
Right?
They might do it.
Now, in the same light, Duncan announced his candidacy, and then the very next day, our Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, announced his candidacy to run for governor in the Republican Party.
Yep.
You know, what's interesting enough is Raffensperger also tried to drop the dime on President Cheeto. Right? He's spoken out against him as well. Tried to get the man to go to jail, you know, but some district attorney dropped the ball. You know, but again, he's in this race and he's going to, he what's so funny? You know what I'm saying?
A lot is funny. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go on, make your point.
He is also going to drum up
a lot right there, but go ahead.
I said,
you see,
I mean, I was just pointing out the obvious, right? Well,
no.
Maybe didn't drop the ball. But anyway, but no, Brad Raffensperger, he's going to have a certain appeal too. Yeah. He's going to appeal to the Democrats that appreciated him for standing up to what was right. He's going to appreciate the Republicans who, you know, for him standing up to what was right.
That's right.
Right? In a time where it was not, you know, the easiest thing to do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Call all kind of names under the child of God.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, you know.
You know what's interesting though about both of them? What's fascinating to me as an analyst is with Jeff Duncan, I don't question whether or not he can win a general. I question whether or not he can get out of the primary. With Raffensperger, well, you know what? It's the same, actually. I question whether or not Raffensperger can win a primary. I don't question whether or not he can win a general. I think both of them could win a general. The question on both sides, Democrat or Republican, is like, can you get out of the primary?
Right.
And when we are so polarized right now as a country and as an electorate, that's not something you encounter. That dynamic isn't something you necessarily encounter that often. And so it could be very interesting, but I would put more, it's not a slam dunk on either side, but like if I had to bet, you know, I would bet more that Duncan has a better chance of getting out of the primary than Raffensperger.
Who do you think is going to be able to best articulate their vision for what they're going to do if they're in office?
Between, you mean across everybody?
Across the field.
Based on what I've seen so far, you know, Mayor Keisha hasn't done a bad job. I don't think she's done a bad. I think she has. I think people, when she started, people didn't really know what to make of her candidacy. I think people kind of thought they would just be an Atlanta candidacy. They didn't know how serious she was, and part of the reason they didn't know how serious she was because she didn't run for re-election in Atlanta. So a lot of people are saying, you know, if you didn't run for re-election in Atlanta, are you really going to run a statewide race? And are you really, okay, you're running for governor, but are you going to get outside of Atlanta? I think she's done a good job.
Put a pin right there.
I think she's done a good job of putting some meat on the bones of her candidacy and really making it a statewide effort. So I give her credit for that. I just think that there are certain things that she can't change. She can't change her race and she can't change her gender. And I think ultimately that's probably going to be the reason why she may not get the nomination.
So we've talked about this on many episodes. Are they going to campaign outside of Atlanta? I can tell you right now, people in Southwest Georgia ain't having it this year. And they call and tell me this all the time. Ain't nobody really came down here. Some said, their people are calling us, but they not calling us. We want to hear from the candidate. And the only ones that are doing that in Southwest Georgia are Jeff Duncan,
wow,
Republican Burt Jones, and I think Michael Thurman has started to make those inroads.
Well, but here's the thing about Michael Thurman. That doesn't surprise me. He's won statewide. He knows how to do this.
He's also from Athens.
That's right. He ain't pretending. These are his people, right? And he knows how to do it. His thing, similar to Keisha has race and gender, but it's more gender than it is race. Michael Thurman is just age. It's just age.
And most of your voters are older. The ones that vote in the primary.
The ones that vote in the primary, but are they given all the other headwinds though? Are they gonna elect somebody in their 70s to be the nominee?
I think my mother still would. Because there's a sense of, I ain't too old to do something. I still got something left in me.
So with Ms. Ruby, I would say if the other candidates don't get to her and really talk to her and sit down with her, yes, I think she would go with Thurman, but I don't know that she would necessarily rule out a Keisha or Jeff Duncan, but they got to get to her. They got to sit with her. They got to talk to her.
So she's not a fan of Keisha.
Well,
she's not going to give Olu or Derek Jackson a thought. I can tell you right now, she ain't going for Jason. I can pretty much guarantee that. She may look
Jeff or Michael.
She'll look at Brad and she'll look at Jeff. She would never vote Republican, but she would give it some thought.
Well, look,
because she said, this is when Stacey was running. She said, now Brian Kemp has done a pretty good job as governor. I'm still gonna vote for the black woman, but
I ain't mad if Brian Kemp wins. Well, that's where like Georgia is a little bit of an anomaly. The only other state in the South that's kind of in the same bucket is like a North Carolina. But that's where Georgia is a little bit of a anomaly. And that is also, right, what you just said is why people shouldn't rule out a Jeff Duncan winning this primary.
Right.
Ms. Rubin might really vote for him, right? He could get her. You know what I mean? And so I'm just saying people shouldn't be surprised by that. But if it happens, people shouldn't also think that it's this abomination of the Democratic Party or that there's opportunity there, right? And you just talk through all the people, right, where this occurred in Georgia's history. And those folks went on to be very successful politicians enacting their agendas. And don't rule out the possibility that Jeff Duncan could possibly be the same opportunity for us. And the last thing I'll say is, I understand where like your mother is. I've only ever voted Republican one time. And the one time I voted for a Republican was Bob Riley, governor of Alabama. And he was a great governor. And I don't regret it. I don't regret the vote. It makes sense. Lucy Baxley. I ain't gonna say nothing disparaging, but it wasn't nothing worth voting for. The man had done a good job. I got family right now who have jobs because of the work that Bob Riley did. And what really stuck out for me is that he did this before he ran for re-election. Alabama used to have a lot of racist words and terms in our Constitution. He led the effort to get all that stripped out and removed. He didn't have to. Right? He didn't do this his second term. I ain't got to run again. I don't care who I upset. This man did that in his first term. And he focused on the things that matter. He funded education, and he was forever on a trade mission trying to bring jobs and opportunity to Alabama. So I voted for Bob Riley.
Yeah. Well, the Democratic primary in Georgia is in May. So that gives them a good, people are starting early, which is good, right? Which is what we've been asking for, clamoring for. But like you said it, elections are about math, right? And there are many ways, there are many formulas to solve a math problem. Or in this case, win an election. But Democrats have been losing a lot lately.
Yeah.
And voters just want to win. Voters just want some stability. Voters just want their country and their state back. And so it'll be an interesting road, a road to the primary come May. And to the general, right? Could you imagine if we had a former Republican, and this would be the first time this has happened in the Democratic Party, going up against Donald Trump? That would be some interesting, I mean, if he's still present and with us at the time. You never know.
Well, you mean Trump?
Trump. The man got some really big cankles. They swollen, bruh. He retained a lot of water. That's some heart problems there.
Well,
Diet Coke, McDonald's, and steak.
He would say that's fake news, Richard.
Hey, well, he will be the one to know what fake news really is. Sucker. Yeah, my wife is gonna get me. She's like, babe, why you say those things? Look, that concludes this episode, right? We're gonna do a Mamba moment.
I would give my Mamba moment to. I think there are a lot of people in this moment where we are right just now, generally in the country, that are kind of struggling on what to say and what the right notes are to say. But there are some folks that I think are getting it right, and they have not flinched, and they have not equivocated on exactly what needs to be said right now. Pastor Wesley at Alfred Street Baptist Church in Virginia, where when I was living me and my wife, we lived in the D, the M, and the V. So when we were living in the V, we went to Alfred Street. And I adore him as a pastor, and I adore him even more for the clarity that he's brought to the moments that we're in right now with some of his recent sermons. Then there's Jasmine Crockett, who we talked about a lot on the show. Randall, Brandon, Mayor Scott in Baltimore, Mayor Woodfin in Birmingham. All these folks, they not struggling right now on what to say in this moment.
Chicago.
Mayor, I know first name Brandon. What's his last name? I'm forgetting.
A lot of dead airtime right now.
We're so bad. What was his name? Wait a minute. Mayor Brandon. This is going to come right to me. See, this is what happens when you turn 40.
He looked like M'Baku.
Brandon Johnson. There we go. Mayor Johnson.
Black is last name.
I know. It's like, really, of all the names, that's the one you couldn't remember.
Mayor Johnson, boy.
But anyway, he's another one, right? And I also give even Mayor Bowser, my old boss, right? Like, DC's in a unique just situation.
Yeah.
Just given the fact that they lack statehoods and how she's handled it. But there are a lot of people that history will look back, right, and we'll reward them and we'll give them their flowers for how well they're dealing with this moment. And so I give the Mamba moment to all of them for exuding like a sense of calm, a sense of dedication, a confidence, right, and just leadership, right? Can you think of a moment when did you ever see Kobe flustered? Never.
In that courtroom.
He wasn't flustered.
No.
He would leave that courtroom and score 40.
Yeah.
Get on a
very
flight,
true.
go to the game and score 40. Like,
Ride a bike and hop in the game.
never. Ain't did no warm up, no nothing.
Yeah.
Okay. So I give it to all of those folks in this moment, and I would just say that there are reasons to be optimistic right now. As a party, there's a lot of work we got to do, but there's reason to be optimistic. We got talent out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I give it to all those folks that we just named because they not struggling in this moment. They leading.
No, I second that. But a special big shout out to that boy Randall, Mayor Woodfin, destroyed that competition, right?
Would you call it competition?
Destroyed the people.
I mean, they said
that played checkers with him.
He, Randall to me is kind of like because we've worked with them both. We worked with Barack, we worked with him.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of like because they so like cool, they so chill, they so understated. But that boy got some hood in him. He ain't. He speaks softly, but he ain't soft at all.
I remember when he took them to the projects they grew up in. I was like, what? Nah.
Yeah. He speaks softly, but he ain't soft.
But his mama's so sweet.
Oh my God, Mama
so
Woodfin.
sweet.
That's why we put in the ad.
Yeah, so sweet.
She's incredible, but Randall ain't no pump.
Oh, by any means.
Mm-mm.
By any means.
Ain't no pump.
But that's us for today. We are the boys of the Maroon Bison. Appreciate y'all. Like, subscribe, share. Holler at us. Peace.